See, nobody's in here yet. Let me check it myself. The volume had a volume problem a minute ago, so I think I got it worked out. Okay, just checking. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Okay, got the volume problem worked out.
Okay, got the volume problem worked
All
out.
right, let me turn this.
Okay,
Turn.
got the volume problem.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, man. All right, I got my live chat on. So just I'm gonna talk for a minute, and the audio should be fine now. And then I'm gonna check the comments and stuff afterwards. So let me just jump right in. All right, the EMF broadcast, the Gang Stalker EMF broadcast live stream. And I was talking about how Gang Stalkers can connect to a broadcast. So imagine a hologram broadcast, all right? Just like a hologram made of broadcast waves that you really can't see that well, but in certain circumstances you can, and there are ways to go about seeing it. But it doesn't have to be it's made of waves, okay? But it doesn't have to be a person. It doesn't have to represent a person. Usually it will. Usually they'll broadcast as their self. They can also broadcast as a bird. They can broadcast as a rabbit. They can broadcast as whatever they want to and live that experience. So it's a very bizarre thing that they're able to do. So, but typically they'll broadcast as a person, as themselves. And so, my situation, like I'll have gang stalkers that'll broadcast, and they usually broadcast small, and I'll have like a little broadcast person, okay, and they're at home connected to a broadcast through mind control and the satellite broadcasts are connected to the broadcast through broadcast, and they're wearing a mind control that helps them receive it full power and to distribute it. So they're able to see the view back from a broadcast. So they could broadcast, to the corner Walmart or whatever and be at Walmart while they're laying on their couch. They really can do that. I swear to God, they can do that. That really is what they do. So something like this guy that goes on live all the time, like he does these live streams. So he gets on mind control. He's living as a broadcast, and he goes on for a live stream, right? And at that point, he's using my phone. Okay, he's using my services. He's using my device, and he's using my accounts to run his EMF broadcast live stream. And a lot of the time, it's Facebook. Facebook is one of the places where they run this stuff. They run it on everything. They'll run a live stream, layered over my own video, this video right here, and they'll put it into the source code and have it on YouTube and everything we put out. If you put out a picture, then there's broadcasts all in it. They can see that, and so then you're gonna have an advertisement out there. That's what you're gonna have. You're gonna have an advertisement for the live stream that they're doing about your life, and that picture is gonna be like the cover photo of that, and it's gonna have broadcast in it where they can see the advertisement and say, hey, here's the link or here's the FTP IP address, so something like that. So they're living as broadcast. So this guy, he'll broadcast and like get on my forehead, and so I want to explain it thoroughly, okay? Because people talk about direct energy weapons and all this different stuff, and it ain't. I mean, by definition, it's not. It's not a direct energy weapon. Philosophically, yeah, it is. So a direct energy weapon look kind of like a satellite dish type of thing on top of a Hummer, and that's a direct energy weapon. And I'm sure they got other kinds that they've created. If you try to create one, the feds will come get you. I promise. They'll come immediately and come get you, and they don't let people create stuff like that. Gang stalkers do not have them. You can argue with me till you're blue in the face. Their phones are not equipped with direct energy weapons. You're being attacked by a broadcast, by somebody living as a broadcast, and while they're living as that broadcast, they're attacking you. And that's what you're being attacked by. Now, they know what you think. All right, so if you look over and you see somebody over there that got their phone, it's not that suspicious. We all have our phone. Stop making us all look crazy. Stop making yourself look crazy. Somebody that's connected to you, they know what you think. Oh my God, they're beaming me with their phone. All right, you just basically said gang stalker that's living as a broadcast. Attack me, so I'll think that that phone is beaming me, because they love to throw you off like that, and then you're sitting there acting weird. And then I see everybody does this. All right, they go on. A lot of people do this. They go on Facebook and everywhere, and they got their phone out, their camera, right? And they're like, look, look at this person. They are just came out here to smoke at the same time as me, and they're like, look at them, and you're videoing these people, right? Who's gang stalking who? You're videoing some innocent neighbor of yours or something while you think they're doing something because somebody connected to you and living as a broadcast that ain't a physical person around you is doing stuff to you because they notice you think that. Now you got turmoil between your neighbors. You're videoing them looking like a gang stalker yourself. And who's gang stalking who? You're gang stalking your neighbors. You're stalking your neighbors, doing videos of them and stuff. So it could be your neighbors. It could be your neighbors. But when somebody's doing something to you, it's as a broadcast most of the time. They could put you on public, your profile, your neural monitoring profile on public. You could be 3 states away. Somebody you've never seen before. They could be following you. They could turn off their lights and swerve down a one-way at you or try to run you off the road or do stuff like that. They do things like that. But that's when you're gang stalkers, the people that possess and control your neural monitoring profile. That's when they put you on public. They put you on public so other people, other places that don't know you, that don't know who you are, that you've never seen, they can become involved. Just like that. And it's gang stalking. Okay? That's gang stalking. And it's really kind of different and the same as EMF broadcast stalking that they use. That's what they use. They use neural monitoring to know where you're at, to see that you're on public, to gang stalk you in public. Gangs of people that don't know each other can be doing stuff to you. People that you've never seen. People somewhere else that you just happen to be somewhere else. And they're not following you or anything. Like, they see your profile right on the neural monitoring. Oh, look, here's a public target. Let's throw a stink bomb at them in front of them while they're driving or something. And it's dangerous. All right, and I wouldn't be surprised as this continues on if, these type of people start getting shot. It's probably happened already. They've done stuff to me in public and endangered my life to where I probably would be perfectly fine with a self-defense if I would have shot them. So, if you're kind of gangster about it, they might not follow you around. They won't put you on public no more. It causes too many problems. You know too much anyway, because I told you all how this stuff works. And you can keep videoing people, walking up the street and say, "Look at them, the neighborhood watch people. Hey, you're a neighborhood. Like, look at the white van, the AT&T guys out here installing the stuff. There ain't no stuff. Stop it. Stop doing that. Stop. You targeted individuals, right? Quacks. We look like a bunch of quacks. Videoing every white van and AT&T guy. He's out there hooking up some stuff. Nothing to do. You don't go out there and hook up stuff when you got full-fledged capabilities, way better than all that stuff he's out there messing with just broadcast and neural monitoring. EMF, it's a satellite broadcast. I get tired of seeing this garbage because it gives all of us this stigmatism. Like, everybody thinks that targeted people, we're all nuts because some of you guys don't get it, and some of you guys have been doing this for too long to not get it. So you need to, we got to get on the same page. And people, you got to understand that this broadcast stuff is far more advanced than a microchip. It's far more advanced than a hidden camera. There ain't no cameras. They don't need a camera. They just use broadcast and use it. It's like a virtual camera that don't even exist. They don't have to have a camera. They can see from a broadcast. Clear as they want to. Clear enough, they'll talk about the little bitty bugs that they see in food and stuff like that, and it's true. They don't need cameras in your house, and they don't have them. If somebody's got a camera in your house, they're probably somebody that you dated trying to get some catch you doing something or get a secret flick. You know, there's no cameras in your house. That's not how this works. This works from broadcast. And when people stop flaking out and understand how this really works, then we'll start moving a lot faster. So gang stalkers can live as a broadcast. This guy, he broadcasts as a little hologram. You know, they could be this big. It could be a hologram this big. They could be a hologram this big. Or they could be a hologram 10 feet tall. When I see them 10 feet tall, they seem to need power. They walk along holding the power line. You know, I'm not some deranged psychopath. I just know what I'm talking about. So this guy, he'll broadcast. Little broadcast. They call it little people. He's like, my little people, when he feels like he's in trouble. My little people are about to get turned off. No, it ain't. These are things they want you to buy into the things that they're saying. It's all about your reaction. Okay, just don't say ignore them. Just ignore them. You can't ignore this. What if I tune right into your neurological frequency and start broadcasting all kind of stuff? You can't ignore that. It's war. So this guy will broadcast and he'll get on my forehead. Now, let me get this straight, okay? Because the direct energy weapon thing is a big misconception, all right? They don't have a handheld thing. It's not built into their phone. Stop acting like a weirdo thinking that, because it's not how it works. They're making you believe that somebody, because you thought it in the first place. Oh, they're pointing their phone at me. And then you're getting zapped by broadcast. Who knows that you think that that person is pointing their phone at him. Okay, it's not how it works. So a broadcast, they can jump on you and like penetrate, go through you and like latch all onto you and soak into your skin, and it hurts bad, and it's violent, and it's torture, and it's an assault, it's attempted murder, and we have a right to defend ourselves against people that are doing that. So if you find out who's doing that, then the police need to do their job, because these people are using a microwave broadcast that they're controlling to harm others and to hurt other people and to kill, to damage people's body and mind. They're using it in that way, and the government knows it. The government knows it, and they're not doing anything about it because they don't want to admit it exists, but they built it and they launched it out there, and so they are by default sponsoring terrorism, domestic terrorists and abroad, because this is a worldwide global problem. But a broadcast, okay, so this is like a whole broadcast world. It's kind of like a video game, right? But it's not virtual reality because it's real. So it's virtual real reality. So you got people that can live as broadcasts, they're on mind control, and we can do it too. Or they can broadcast us. We're just unaware of the connections and what's going on because we don't have our neural monitoring and we're not on mind control. So when we're connected to people, okay, and that's a form of mind control. But we're not on mind control like we're wearing the headset and this entire existence of living as this broadcast is going into our mind, or we're connected to somebody with the headset on, like two people connected with the headset on, like you could really mind control somebody. We're just receiving these people, and it can cause influence and confusion. They're receiving us to know what we're thinking so they can try to cause confusion and influence and destroy you. But a broadcast could be standing over there, right, and have like a broadcast laser gun, shoot little lasers at me, and they're broadcast too. But you can feel them. You can feel them just like you could feel it if they jumped on you as a broadcast. Is that a direct energy weapon? No, it's still a broadcast. It's still a broadcast. They're using a satellite broadcast system to attack people. And whether or not it's a direct energy weapon is it's a debate about philosophy, really, or because what's the exact definition of a direct energy weapon? It's probably kind of like that, but the weapon is the satellite. All right, so it's a weaponized satellite. You have weaponized satellites, and the reason it's weaponized is because people are using it for that way. Because I got a Nissan out there, and if I go run over some people on purpose, I have weaponized it, and now it is a weapon. But otherwise, it's just my truck that I ride. Okay, so people get very confused, and it's just it's out there, man. It's out there, and I'm telling you how it works, and I'm dead for real on how it works. That's why these gang stalkers attack me all the time. That's why they sit over here and delete your comments and delete me from your subscribes and all this different stuff, and they try to keep you from finding out these type of things that I'm telling you. Right, so I got this guy. He'll get on my forehead with his little broadcast, and then he'll hold out his arms and just like have this broadcast sludge stuff coming out, right? And it goes over my eyebrows and then into my eyes. And next thing you know, I look like the swamp man. Okay, now you can't really see it, but if you're a broadcast person, you could see it. If you set up the right setting, if they want you to see it, you could see it. Okay, and that's something that I'm still trying to exactly work out, because I know it to be a fact, but there's two possibilities of how that is. Okay, are they using a neurological setting on my neural monitoring to change something in my visible spectrum range? I don't think so, but it's a thought, that I'm having. But the more likely answer is that they broadcast a type of broadcast that's powerful enough to actually be seen by human eyes, because they can broadcast to where you can see it if they want you to see it. Most of the time, they just use regular broadcast and you don't see it, but there's still ways to see it. Okay, so this guy, he'll get on mind control, put on his little headset, starts screaming like a little girl, acting like a cartoon character. Right? And when I hear him, I hear his broadcast. It's not like I hear him as a physical person screaming. It's artificial telepathy, but it's coming from his broadcast. So he's talking to me, and the sound, the signal that seems like sound, comes to me directionally from where his broadcast will be. So they like to you stand out there like on the back porch or something, right? And they like to say they live over here, because a lot of times they do live close by you, and a lot of people have this, but not all of them are gang stalkers. But if you live in a neighborhood of very many people, some people in your neighborhood have it. Okay, so whether or not they're gang stalkers, I don't know. They're probably at least like watchers. So say they live over here, right? But there'll be a broadcast way over here on the other side, and they're screaming at you from that, right? And it's to deceive you. It's to send you in the wrong direction. But they can beam you with a little laser, okay, which is broadcast from their broadcast. So it's all broadcast, EMF broadcast. We are on EMF mind control neural monitoring, which is a satellite broadcast system, and the Earth's electromagnetic field is the infrastructure to carry the broadcast, like cell towers, right? I call you, it goes from my phone to the tower, to the tower, to the tower, then to your phone. All right, but if you run out of towers, you get a little too far away, can you hear me now? No, because you've gone out of the network. But we all know, some of you guys that have been going through this for real, there's no range. There's no outages. It's perfect. It's a perfect broadcast system 100% of the time. These microwave penetrator hurricane, there's thousands of satellites orbiting the Earth. All right, and the Earth's electromagnetic field is global. This energy field is global, and this energy field is the infrastructure for the broadcast, and it can pick up any frequency. If you're a human, you have a frequency. You have an EMF signature frequency, and you're emitting something all the time. So we are telepathic by nature, naturally telepathic. But this system, this electronic satellite broadcast system, it can pick us up, right? So it can electronically assist that. So what it can read from us, which is every single thing you're thinking, every way you feel, and everything that your mind processes. If your mind is processing it currently, than it is your thoughts. And what your eyes, what your eyes see and your mind perceives from your eyes, it is part of your thoughts and it's part of what you're giving off. And it's what can be read from this satellite broadcast system. So basically, that's it. There's no outages or anything else. It's a perfect system that's always on. There's no dead zones or range to it. It's everywhere. So anyway, let me look at a few of these questions or comments. Uh, you don't do all the video. Are you saying? Oh yeah, there you aren't chosen. There isn't any star seeds and all that. This isn't some. I'd like to think that, oh, and maybe, in the grand scheme, maybe I'd like to, oh, God chose us to, because we're His favorite people, and and or we're on the list. You hear the list a lot. There ain't no list. There ain't no list. And if I was to get neural monitoring, I could get it. I could probably get it. If I was to sell out, I'll take all my videos down and I'll never say anything else to anybody, right? I know a couple people that would give it to me. All right, so it's costly for me to do this. But if I was to get it, I could give it to whoever I wanted to. And I've known people that were targeted that ended up getting it. And it's the person that has possession of my neural monitoring. I gave it to a whole bunch of people. There's people everywhere with neural monitoring. You can give it to whoever you want to. And there's nothing stopping you from giving it to who you want to give it to. I think the reason there's nobody wants to give it to me is look what I do. Look what I do. I don't like the things that they use it for. And it's not an evil technology. It's the only technology that could accelerate humanity right past, we'd accelerate 100 years in no time. Like we would all be starting to get smart and understand things that we didn't previously understand. There wouldn't be no arguing about it or lying or anything else. You would just be able to tell what's best and who's lying, and it would all just be real quick and simple. Nope. Logic prevails. You can see the results of everything, and you know what's really going on, and you'll know so much more than you can know without it. And so it's an amazing. It's the best technology that man has created. But just like anything else, we can send a submarine into the ocean with a nuclear reactor in it, and it can drive around for 30 years without getting any gas. You don't have to refuel. The nuclear reactor that's why they get your power. They just build a nuclear reactor, and they flip it on, and it's a nuclear fission is the discovery that is something that creates more energy than it uses. So you're able to create energy infinitely until the reactor wears out or whatever. So I guess they have to do that. But it's a great technology. It's obviously we can have infinite energy without having to make it or anything else. It's just like, but we can also blow up the world, use it for a weapon, and that's very different. We are the surveillance equipment. That is exactly right. And look, like I'm sitting here in front of I got my phone leaned up on my laptop. Okay, and my phone, same difference. Okay, but it's a perfect background, right? They could broadcast waves right there. All right, and then off of that reflection, they could see me. So they just receive the waves back. It's at a certain frequency or whatever. So they broadcast it, and then they can receive it back, and they got that reflection. And so that's a view. All right, and if you got something that's like a TV or something is what's one thing they like, and that's why a lot of people talk about seeing people in their TV, because it's a unintended consequence. It's a two-way connection. It's a two-way broadcast. It's a connection, right? They broadcast to receive the view off of my reflection, but then some reflection around them I'm seeing them off of their own reflection stuff around them. Right? And it's likely a broadcast that they're receiving in their mind. But since it's in the just in the waves coming to them, right, that something around them that's reflective is something that I would be able to see them off of. It's just a back and forth. Um, it's just a back and forth broadcast. So yeah, they don't need cameras, and they don't put cameras in your house. And um, yeah, there's no losing them out on the streets. You know, I'm like a race car driver, man. They can't keep up with me, but you lose them, and 2 minutes later they start pulling back up on you again. It's like how? I was wondering all of that, 6 years ago when I used to try to run around from them. Um, yeah, the live streams when they get on live stream, they're just doing a show, and it could be about different things, and different people are going to be doing different type of live streams. Some of them will just stand around, and comment about what you got going on, and if they're funny or if but this guy got Marcus, this guy Marcus or Mark or Marco or something. They call him. Excuse me. They call him Marcus. Okay, they've been calling him Marcus for 5 years or 6 years on my channel, and so I call him Marcus. Everybody calls him Marcus, but he's the worst one, and he loves to broadcast as a girl. So his hologram will be like a girl, and then he screams in these little girl voices like the Backstreet Boys are right there, right? And he acts really weird, and he's been on mind control so much over the last 7, 8 years. I think it's messed him up because he doesn't act normal ever. He's full time, and he just wants to broadcast and like hurt me. He likes to put like all kinds of broadcast crap all around my arms and on my legs, and he'll put stuff all over my face, and he just does this all day long. And so his live stream is all about torture and attacking me, right? And he'll do stuff that's real like it's snively and like on the underlay. So he'll be trying to be sneaky about it. Like he'll put like a little broadcast like in my jaw, like under my teeth or something. And then it won't be strong broadcast, but over time, like, a day or two later, I'm like, oh, why is all of my teeth loose, and why does it feel like all of my whole jaw is infected or something? Like, and it's something that he just did it to my back yesterday. Today he's been wrapped around my arms and legs. And you can see broadcast better in hair. Listen, this was something I was going to do, but I'm going to just put it out there for you guys too, okay? Lights have different effects, okay? So I know LED lights help to show broadcast. And I also know that you can see broadcast very well in hair. So I was thinking that it would be like a cool experiment to have like some really straight hair, like a whole wig or something, like just laid over something, and then use different kind of lights. And the primary colors, if you get some LEDs that are like the primary colors, and use those, and like some hair, and it's just different things you could do to try to see the broadcast. You video that and you probably will see something. And there's other ways to do it too. There's a lot of different ways that they can use to try to see broadcast, but you can see it very good in hair, and certain kind of lights. LEDs are one that help to show broadcast, and the primary colors. If you had like the three primary colors of nice little bright LED lights shining onto like like a TV with a bunch of hair laced over it, like, I don't know. I'm just creating this in my mind as I'm thinking of it, but you can build an EMF setup, and that's what some of these old school EMF broadcast people do. And so they're not all like gang stalkers. Some of them just like to receive broadcasts and do little cool stuff like that, and build little EMF setups. And some of them just do funny little shows. And then you got idiots that don't have very much to offer, and so they result. I hate you. I hate you. They tell me how much they hate me about 1,000 times, but they won't go away. So, and they're not effective in their little mind games. Like, even though they have access to neural monitoring and mind control and all that stuff, they're ineffective. against me. So I would say that they're inferior, and they have all the hacking capability in the world. They're always like, we're about to break your stuff then. Like if I try to do something they don't like, or if I'm doing too much, like, I'm about to break your computer. There's a few of them that like to do stuff like that. And they've done it. That's destroying my property is what it is. They like to destroy your property because they're not able to control you. They're not able to control you. You know, and earlier, like one of them was trying to tell me to do something. I'm like, get lost with that. Like, well, who do you think you are? Like, you can't tell me what to do. You know, and he starts attacking me. He starts attacking me physically with a broadcast. And it's the mentality. Okay. I immediately imagined, okay, and the year 1750, okay, some idiot telling some slave what to do, and they're like, well, I don't want to do it. Push, push, and start whipping them, right? Okay, and that's the mentality of these gang stalkers. They want to tell you what to do and control you. And if it's not effective, or if they can't trick you or get you to buy into their little mind games for their live stream, for the little show they're trying to put on, something to try to embarrass you, right? Mess up and catch a hemorrhoid or something, you know, and then they're putting live stream photos of your butthole out there, anything to try to embarrass you, right? If they can embarrass you, they'll try to embarrass you, and that's what some of them do. The violent ones that are just abusive and violent, they'll attack you and try to embarrass you at anything they can because they don't have anything to offer. They don't have anything to offer. So, yeah, my device is dying, actually. So, anyway, that's kind of how the live stream works, and they make money off of doing that by advertising and by because everything that's EMF broadcast stuff is like it's like all hidden in plain sight, a lot of it, and there's a whole nother world. There's a whole nother section of society. There's everybody, and then there's everybody who's a human, and then there's the people that have access to broadcast. So you got broadcast people and then humans, and there's two different sections of society, but both can roam the planet. Both can use the internet. Okay, and in a digital presence, they're like the same as us, except for they have a lot more capabilities, and they can use advertising and get on different websites and run their little live streams and do all of their stuff, and they can just do whatever they want to, and it's a whole different thing. And humans don't know about that unless they have broadcasts, and then it's like the secret double life. But I'm tired of it being a secret double life because idiots like these Howard Circle family that wants to attack my body physically every day, and they think that they own me, and if I won't comply, then they start attacking me like I'm their slave. All right, and they want to make money off of me. They want to hold me hostage in captivity so they can steal my intellectual content and suppress me from being able to do anything about it, and run their live streams, and they're invested, and they've been putting out stuff for many years, and they're probably making a little bit off of all of it, here and there, whatever, and it just builds up to an income is what happens. And so now they're all trying to protect their income and their investment, and they look at me as their property. And so, yeah, let me let's do some more of these. Gang stalkers were tired of your crap. I agree. They're tired of my crap too. They're tired of my crap. But well, what I want is everybody else to start giving them the same crap that I do. This is what I think we should do. Okay, I think we should try every day to learn about computer programming stuff because they're all in our devices. They want to do live streams. If they're targeting you, they're on your phone, they're in your accounts, they're doing all this stuff. So try to learn about that kind of thing because it's illegal. It's illegal right now. You don't have to start talking to the police about weird stuff. You don't have to go to the police and say, hey, I'm being direct energy weapon attacked and artificial telepathy harassed, right? Okay, well, you want us to take you over to the psych ward or what? No thanks. Medicate yourself, but you ain't feeding me that crap. But all the hacking stuff is illegal now, and they may try to disregard you, but ultimately it's illegal and it's violating our rights and our property and everything else. So what we have to do is um, what we have to do is approach it from that perspective of what's illegal right now and force law enforcement to do their job. Even if we have to sue them to do their job, we got to force them. And then when they do, it's going to lead into everything else, and the revolution is going to be kicked off. And that's what's up. So let me scroll through here a little more. Are you saying we're possessed? Um, Not exactly. They're not demons. Okay, it is a technological thing. They are broadcasting. So, and it's not that far fetched. I mean, humans have a frequency, and so that's where it becomes all intertwined, you know. But if you think about it, like you could turn on your rabbit ear TV and receive the football game, and it's video and it's audio, and you can receive all of that floating right through the air. You can receive that on with an antenna. Okay, so we know that that kind of thing can be contained within a signal. And so from there, you could just start to, I mean, we've been having that for longer than I've been alive, longer than you all been alive, probably. Um, so it's not that far fetched. I think this neural monitoring thing's been around for 50 years. Um, okay, so uh, cyber security student. Good job, bro. That's what I'm going into right now. Is I'm gonna start looking into those kind of things. You know, I've already started the process, so I'm gonna just go to school until I know enough, I guess. And I learn stuff every day without going to school, but I'm gonna continue to go to school until I know enough. And I'm looking into like internet security and web development and network protocol stuff and just programming in general, all of that. All of that. It's all very important. And moving into this age, this is the type of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, look, these people that use broadcast, they can just run little programs and they're living as broadcast and do all kind of weird stuff, and they have an extreme advantage over us. And the problem is everybody's looking at their phones and stuff now, and it's not even a. I mean, it's a real computer. Yes, your phone is a real computer, and they are very capable, but they're running on a different type of thing. And mobile operating systems are designed for a user person, and not like a laptop. Like I can go into the command line and start enabling this or that and change all kind of stuff and get into the depths of it and look into console logs and the activities and all. I can look into all of that, but the problem is we don't know what we're looking at because we're uneducated about these type of things, and it's very important. So we have to become educated because that's the important stuff. And whether you like it or not, it's the important stuff. So you have to become educated about those things. And otherwise, you just be a user on your phone and go to the settings that it allows you to have instead of creating your own settings, or go to the whatever, go to your apps. And yeah, that works fine for me. I'm not tech savvy. Okay, well, get gang stalked for your whole life if you don't want to become tech savvy. I don't know what else, how plain to put it. Um, you're not afraid to die. Alekos, yo, I'm not afraid to die either. And these people talking about Satan and all of this stuff, they can shove it really. Um, is science and genocide? They can also do witchcraft. Um, it is science and it is genocide. Um, there is some there are some strange aspects to all of this, and different people have different terminologies, and some might call it voodoo, and some might call it Jedi, some might call it witchcraft. But when you can see broadcasts, and if you ever get your neural monitoring, you'll find out that I'm right about this, and I know it for a fact. But uh, we have a amazing capability to have some control over electromagnetic stuff and with our mind. And it's weird how all of that stuff works. And the more that you can see broadcast stuff, and I want to say this too, seeing broadcast, you might just see it sometimes, and there's ways you can go about creating a circumstance to make it visible. But once you start to see it and recognize what you're seeing, then you start to learn how to see it better. It's like you can learn to see it better. I can hardly stop seeing it. I can't see it really good. Like I don't just see people running around like, and they are, but I can see things, and it's pollution really. It's pollution to the earth, and I can't not see it because I've learned how to see it. And you can't unknow something, but we do have a lot of control over weird stuff like electromagnetic stuff and some broadcast stuff with our minds. And only broadcast people really know that. So demons use mind control. These people are evil, but they're human. They're humans connected to a broadcast. They like to portray themselves as demons, but in reality, I think they're afraid of Satan, and they pretend not to believe in God because they don't want to face reality. The drones, who's driving? Hey, you said this. So who's driving the drones? I just know they're trying to kill me. Okay. This is something that I experienced some years ago because gang stalkers want you to think that that it's drones that are doing all of this stuff to you because they can do stuff with broadcast, right? So this guy James that was on my channel a lot back in the day, less now, but a lot back in the day, and this was right in the beginning of them talking to me out loud, and he says, "Little to the left, a little to the left, now," right? And all of a sudden, oh, I was like, oh, right, and I'm looking up, I'm like, what the, and he was pretending that they like drone bombed me, all right? And what really, they just put on this whole thing, right? He says this and he says this. I'm supposed to look up and see the drone and think that they drone bombed me, but really, he just says that on artificial telepathy. Then right when he says it, they attack my head with a broadcast. Then I see the drone and think that they got some kind of little weaponized drone, and it's all a thing, a scheme to create a perception in your mind and make you believe something to send you on the wrong direction. Another time, okay, I seen, and this is significant because it says a lot about, well, it's possible that it says a lot. I seen a drone, a real live drone. It actually got caught in my bush, and it was like trying to get out of my bush. It kept trying to fly. But the guy, Marcus, he was a broadcast standing close by as a broadcast hologram flying the drone. Okay, so now it's possible because maybe about 1,000 feet over there is probably where he lives. So he could have been flying it from where he was. And maybe he was flying it and living as a broadcast to like stand next to it as he was flying it, even though he was somewhere else. I don't know, but it creates a lot of possible things that could be. But he was flying a drone and he got it caught in my bush, and I should have ran out there and grabbed it right then. But yeah, so he was flying it as a broadcast, I think, though, because his broadcast was right there like it was flying the drone. But he does live close enough that it could be either way. So I guess it's not that significant of a finding because it's not an absolute certain thing. But there's a lot of things you'll learn by experiencing, and dealing with gang stalkers using artificial telepathy. And when they're on talking to you, it's a mind control broadcast, right? They're not just connected to you. They got on the headset and they're receiving you very clearly And when you think something, they'll answer it back, you know, or comment on it or something. And a lot of times it's just to let you know that they know what you're thinking. But even when you like me and you've been know that, and a lot of times it could be for their live stream or it could just be to annoy you. So I swear to God, sometimes I think they've resorted to just, okay, we can't do anything but trick him. We can't trick him anymore. So let's just attack him and annoy him as much as possible, because he's coming out against us. So, but you got to remember, it's a two-way connection. And I got one of them clicking my click doing the eardrum click thing. It's Marcus. But it is a two-way connection, and you can read them, and it's subtle, and you have to kind of know, like, you'll get it. You'll get it after a while. You'll get it. And when they start thinking something, you just get it. And it's like you're almost the same as them. They got the headset, but you can do the same things that they can do as far as receiving what they're thinking about and stuff like that. So, remote viewing is real, yes. That and when they're doing those kind of broadcasts that you could see off of reflections and stuff like that, that's when your EMF meter will be up high too. That's a lot of comments. I'm not gonna be able to keep up with all this. The animal stuff. I believe that animals have an EMF signature too. I believe that you could probably connect to a dog or something like that. I don't know as far as like insects and stuff like that. It's different, but so but I do think that they can mess with mammals. The Gov program lost all hope. Implanted dreams are real. Look, you're on mind control with people. They're receiving you, but you're receiving them. If they want to broadcast a movie to your mind on your channel, you'd be watching Shrek, right, in your mind, right? It could really work that way. So, of course, they can manipulate your dreams because you're receiving things. And when you go into a subconscious sleep state, you're going to be receiving a lot better than while you're physically awake. All of your senses are being used on other things. Like I'm looking around and I'm moving and I'm talking and all these things are taking up my capacity, right? When you just lay there and fall into that sleep, then your mind is going to be real strong about what it's receiving. So they can have a profound effect on your dreams. Let me see what else. The government program, I don't think there is a government program. I mean, I'm sure the government uses this in a lot of ways, and I'm sure they've used it to destroy people. And but this is something where it's just out there. Millions of people got it, and they're just letting people use it because what are you going to do? You got millions of people using some technology that is not supposed to exist, and they all know how important it is because you know how important it is. You see what they can do to you. Everybody else does. These gang stalkers, they don't know too, and these people that just have it or whatever. The government tries to shut it down, and everybody's going, oh no. I bet you everybody will come out and talk about it then. I bet you they'd come out and talk about it then. I don't think the government can shut it down because there's so many governments involved and so many satellites, and it's just a big intertwined system of the web. We're talking about internet security a minute ago. One thing that I know is important, okay, and there's different steps, okay, and this is something that I was trying to work on, and then I think they blacklisted me or banned me off of a bunch of different sites or something that talk about these kind of things because I can't find any information on it that much. But one thing that's important is your security and privacy protocols. So there's like a bunch of them, like 10 or 12 or something, and it's like DNS where you want to configure your DNS, not just run off of the regular DNS. You want to configure your DNS on something like OpenDNS, and then you want to have like your SSL working properly, and you want to have like you want to have like that connect thing. If once you get the connect thing, like you're getting advanced, like all capital connect, okay, and you're running local host, and you're running all like you're running as a server, and you have your SSL and your all your different protocols set up right, and you got your DNS set up right. All of those things are what starts to get you in the position to find stuff about neural monitoring and to get on the whole internet. It's probably the most important thing that I said, all right, in this whole video, is your privacy and security protocols. And get on a desktop computer and start learning about that stuff. That is the number one thing. So anyway, I got to run, y'all. So I appreciate everybody watching. It's been pretty good one. A lot of comments here. So glad you guys participate. Coming soon, we got the thing where it's called TI Talk, and it's a little show that we're gonna do, and you can join the group on Facebook, and you have to agree to some things, and then your comments and questions and everything, the discussions is what the show is going to be about. So it's going to be something that's going to be done on YouTube, that's going to be based around the group TI Talk that I created on Facebook, and I may also put like a version of that on a website or something like that. And anyway, it's going to be basically a show, TI Talk, and it's going to be about you guys and your experiences and your comments, and y'all will be participating, and I'll be participating, and some other people. And so it's something I'm just trying to put together to get everybody involved and do this whole thing. So if you get a chance, go check out the group. It's just got started. I launched it yesterday, and I got some people joining, but you know, get some content going in there, and then get organized with a few other people, and we're going to start doing some shows about that kind of stuff, and having everybody, all of you guys, involved about your stuff rather than just about my stuff. It'll be about your stuff, and then we can clear up all the confusion and hash it out about what's really going on with gang stalking, and everybody can disagree, and we can fuss about it. And but you know, I want to get rid of all the propaganda so we can move forward, because we're not doing ourselves any favors by going around videoing human people saying, oh, look at them, you know, look at it. It's like you're the gang stalker then, and it's making us look bad. So we're smart people, okay? We're smart people, and we have to act intelligently and come to some real conclusions, and we have to make real progress and move in the right direction. So I report stuff to the feds and the local police all the time. And I've started doing it public on my channel, just so we can all know that they don't do anything and contact me back. I did the FBI and the IC3, the Internet Crimes thing, yesterday, I think, or the day before. I think it was yesterday. And about a week ago, I filed like the 23rd police report about these gang stalkers, about hacking my stuff, and nobody calls me back ever about any of it. Go figure. But yeah, I do reports. We all need to do reports, and then we all need to get together and do some lawsuits and force them to have to investigate these things, because it's against the law, and they're violating all of our constitutional rights, and they're harming us, and they're stealing our quality of life, and deterring our pursuit of happiness. And it's slavery, and it's genocide, and it's terrorism, and we have to fight for it. So anyway, that's what's going on. I appreciate you guys watching, and thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.